I've got some black paint on this thing now. Got up this morning and got the last few little details done to it, and got out here and sprayed some black paint on it, and now it's misting. I'm hoping it's dry enough that it won't hurt anything. It's got a couple of places that are a little thin. Touching it up with some rattle can, I think it'll be fine. There's my tail light housing that I made welded on. See, I just welded it to the angle iron into that brace. I think that's going to work good. I took the drums off and painted, took the drums off and I removed the brakes and put everything back together. The bearings were in good shape. They look fairly new, actually. I repacked them, cleaned them real good and repacked them. I had one bearing, the outer bearing on this side, that the grease in it was just as tacky and sticky. It was like glue. I about never got it cleaned up, but after I did, it spun freely. So that was good. The other side looked good. Alright, I got it pulled back up front. Got the new tires on it. Got the wire run for the lights. I've got to do a plug on the end. I've got one there. I got to put the side marker lights on. Got some nice 10-ply tires on this thing. Got the wheels painted. Got to go back and touch up the hubs a little bit. And everything is looking good. I got to get another piece of wire loom for the left side over there. Then I got to pull that wire up. Got the lights installed. They fit in there nicely. Protect them. I've got to work on this back. I'm going to probably put something across that back there underneath to close that in. And I've got to cut the very tip off of there. I haven't cut that yet. And then build my ramps. This thing I think is going to be done. It turned out really well. Alright, I've made more progress on the trailer. And before I show it to you, what I want to do is I'm going to insert a couple of pictures of the trailer the day I went and looked at it. And you can see where I started, just as a reminder. Alright, so here's what I've got. I've got the decking boards put down. I call them decking boards because I call this the deck of the trailer. They're 2x6s. There's 12 of them, and then a 2x4 in the middle. So 12 2x6 and one 2x4. And I had there in the middle, I had to shave it just a little bit to get it to fit. And then on this end, there's just a little gap. Not bad at all. And good looking lumber. I've got it screwed down. I looked at my trailer that I bought, and it had one screw per board. And so that's what I put in this. And I used right at 90 screws. They're not at every one. For example, I've got them at the front. I've got them along that row and then back here. And I've got to put some more in on the seam. That one's going to start to want to lift up on me. And I may have to redo those two. And then I put washers and put them down like that. Hopefully that'll hold it down. And then I put, at every 4 foot, I put a tie down, a D-hook, D-ring. I've got the big one there, and I've got some smaller ones up here. And these smaller ones are 1,200 pounds, foot-pounds, and I've got them screwed down. I may undo those and bolt them. It's going through the wood and the frame of the trailer. Alright, I've taken this piece of aluminum, this little strip. I've cut it to the length of the piece that I've got, and I've shaped it out, and I like what I've got there. That's going to be my template, and what I intend to do is bolt it to the trailer. I can't weld this aluminum to the metal, so I put a lip on it, and I'll put some bolts in that in the front and back, and it'll have a panel on the inside, and that will be a set of fenders, homemade fenders. So that's what I'm working on next. Alrighty, I got my fenders built. On this side, I had to put a couple of spacers under it. I don't know what's going on, but it was sitting closer to that tire. I got a little bit of space under there. Got more on the other side. But I don't think with these springs that that'll ever get down into that fender. And what I did on the inside is just riveted a piece just right on the inside of it. And I still got room for my D-ring. And now I've got one ramp mocked up, tacked. I had to go get some more welding wire so I can weld that up good. And that's what my ramp's going to look like. They're 5 feet. That's 6-inch spacing from the peak of each one of those. Between the first two and the bottom two are a little bit closer, but closer don't hurt. Alright, so I got to cut and mock up the second one, get some welding wire and get that all welded together. Alright, making more progress. I've got the ramps attached. I've made this arm that screws down into the side of it. Goes up and has a pin through it. And I've got welded up to where I have a rod that goes through the end of the ramp. This ramp can slide to your to your right about 1 foot. And then I can pull the rod out and remove the ramp completely if I want to. Stuck this piece of aluminum on this back to cover that up for the time being. Decide what I'm going to do back here a little later. Got this ramp done. Got the other side of these ramps painted. The back. I've got to go get some more paint. Get those painted up. And got everything looking pretty good. Got the side marker lights on it. I got some reflective strips on it. Got 2 there and a little one in the back. I've got my safety chains welded on. I've just got to get hooks on the end of them. And I've got to do a little touch-up painting here and there. But this thing's getting awful close to being considered done. I'm very happy with it. Ramps are light enough and simple enough that an 11-year-old boy can do them. And on a 20-foot trailer, I can fit 3 Sears garden tractors. And have a little space at the back and on the sides. I'm going to have to add more tie downs. I can see that already. I've got to work on this fender here a little bit. It's almost touching the tire. Other than that, it looks good. Looks good. All right, let's go tractoring.